What's up, everyone? Hope you're having a good Sunday. April 16th today marks the midway point of April, and also that means we're approaching 1/4 of the year of, or 1/3 if I can do math, of the year 2023. For those of you that are in the U.S., tax day approaches very quickly, and I'm honestly not looking too forward to it. But either way, hope you guys are doing well. Today we'll be talking about some, general chatting stuff. So we'll be talking about DreamHack. I went there last weekend. As you can see, I got this shirt as well. We'll be also talking a little bit about just my general thoughts, my general headspace lately, which has been a lot related to competing and watching fighting games, those kinds of things. If we have time, we'll also take a look at a couple of the matches that myself and a number of the other players recorded from DreamHack San Diego last weekend, because we put in a lot of work getting those recordings together. So we're going to talk a bit about that and perhaps analyze a few of the most important matches that took place. And then if we have time, we'll probably play a little bit of Bleach, Dark Souls. I have that open actually on, let me pull up the scene if this is working. Yeah, there we go. I do have that open on the other screen. We can perhaps play that for a little bit if we have time for it. But otherwise, that's the plan for today. Nothing too complicated, no uni today. Just standard chill stream. Haven't done these enough times, so yeah. Okay, let's talk about DreamHack first. I intended on doing a long tweet about how DreamHack went. Oh, this is a little in the way. There we go. I intended on doing a long tweet about how DreamHack went sometime last week. Last week now because it's Sunday. To be honest, like, it was hard for me to gather my thoughts, so I just decided, okay, I'll just talk about it in the stream. Basically, my overall thoughts, like, just in terms of myself in general, I do prefer going to esports events a lot more than dedicated FGC events, especially if they're past like the West Coast, because I don't want to travel too far. The main reason being, like, if I'm out of the tournament, I want there to be more to do than just, playing casuals or chatting with people. I also do want to be able to enjoy like different sorts of festivities that are adjacent to the FGC but not quite like related, like nerd culture or gaming community in general, sorts of things that are available to enjoy. So DreamHack is like the perfect event for me. I went in 2020 to Anaheim DreamHack, and that was honestly way worse than San Diego. San Diego honestly like completely blew my expectations. Considering how UNICLR and some of the other fighting game tournaments went, and then those things aside, even like all the other activities that were available at Anaheim, I think the selection of activities and just the overall quality of the event was much, much better at San Diego. To name a couple of things, so Anaheim had, at the event, there was, how do I say it? There was the DreamHack Open event. I think it was being held for CSGO, which was being held that weekend. That was interesting, but honestly not the most exciting. The level of teams that were there didn't make it such that it was going to be the most enjoyable thing to watch on the side. Whereas at San Diego, to contrast, they actually had the Rocket League Winter Major, and that featured like basically all the high-profile teams of the Rocket League esports scene. I'm probably gonna need some water because it's gonna be a long time of just me talking about this. But yeah, anyway. I'll pull up some photos as we go along because I think that'll help give you a better picture. But I just want to give an overall summary, high level of how I thought about San Diego first. So yeah, there's the Rocket League Championship Series Winter Major. That was like one of the most high-profile tournaments of the Rocket League esports scene, as far as I understand. And the level of teams that were there, that were present, was really like high. So that made it for an overall exciting event. What I noticed about actually a lot of the attendees for that particular event at DreamHack was that there were a lot of families. Like, this is not something I usually expect. Normally I'm used to seeing like just 20-year-olds or teenagers that really like video games or really like esports being the intended audience, but seeing families was pretty interesting. It's not something you typically expect from gaming events, especially esports. And I think also that goes to show like perhaps some qualities of the Rocket League scene specifically, but then also the fact that DreamHack is kind of more open to those wider varieties of audiences compared to the FGC, where it's a lot of 20-year-old, 30-year-old men. So anyway, I thought I'd mention that. That was definitely one plus for me compared to Anaheim in 2020. And then another thing was that fighting games had a lot of dedicated space. That to me was like a huge deal. Oftentimes we see fighting games being relegated to the corner or having one section of the big stage. At Anaheim, we had one large stage to ourselves, but it still didn't feel like the grand stage that you would see perhaps at an Evo or like any other sort of high-profile FGC event. So having like a dedicated space, a corner, like not quite a corner, but like basically large enough where a lot of people could fit. Let me try to find the photo for that actually right now. So let me switch the scene. There we go. So you don't see me anymore, but no worries. Let me see. I can actually copy paste that quickly. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so I took a bunch of photos. This is actually not even all of them. This is just the ones that I want to show for now, because there's too many to show on a stream. We don't want to keep this thing too long. But let me try to find the photo that gives you an idea of like how big the FGC section was. Let me see, or not a photo, but maybe a video, perhaps will help too. This might be too loud. Let me see. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, this is just like the tech section, which is like at the beginning of the FGC corner, but you see how like there's like an entire row of fighting game setups, and there are 4 per table. And I didn't do the math on this, but they had plenty of tables. Let me blow this up to full screen. There were plenty of tables at this event. Like we can see in this current freeze frame, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then there's definitely one on the other side as well to make 8. And that's just one row. And we can see that there's also 2 more rows to the left, and then there's another 2 rows to the right. Although the ones on the right side, am I pointing? Yeah, I'm pointing to my right. You guys, it'll look like the left. But anyway, that side, the tables on that side, we're all Brawlhalla and Smash. So you know, we can include those or not if you feel like it's necessary. But either way, it's to say that there was quite a bit of space for the FGC and then the platform fighter section of the event. I'm not sure if I was able to sweep through everything. I did get the Smash, but as you can see, there's like a ton of setups, and this is way more than what Anaheim had as well. Okay, it does look like that's the end of the row. Yeah, but anyway, it goes to show like how much like space there was, and it's not like this was like a ton of space, right? Like this is just efficiently used space. That's pretty much all it was. And then there might be another photo or video where I caught, not this one. Like how many people were able to fit in this one section? It looks like it's crowded, right? But to be honest, like it didn't feel that bad when I was there. Oops. Okay, I don't know what that was. Hopefully not anything too dramatic. But yeah, this is like the FGC section. Like I tried to get a camera angle from a little bit above to like showcase the scale, but there were a ton of people, and this was on Saturday, which was day 2. There was also Friday and Sunday. I didn't go to Friday because I didn't take work off to go there, but I honestly considered it because although there weren't any fighting games that I entered that were being run on Friday, it would have been nice to at least enjoy more of the things outside of the fighting games on a separate day. Because what I noticed, especially after I came back from San Diego, was that I didn't get to spend as much time with the other things as I did with the FGC, especially because the 2 days I went were both days on which I had tournaments to go to. So that certainly made it a bit difficult for me to fully get my $80 worth of enjoyment, which is how much DreamHack cost. And you know, by the way, like yeah, DreamHack's expensive. Totally understand. Like it's also a trip that can be a bit uncomfortable for a lot of people because it is like a event that's greater than the FGC. Specifically, it's like a more so general gaming event with a lot of competitive games there. Actually, on this end right here, this screen is a bit hard to see, but over there is actually the the mobile games esports section. They had Clash of Clans at one point. I don't know what they had on Friday, but they have Clash of Clans on Saturday, and on Sunday was Brawl Stars. So that was really cool to see as well. And then over here is like the arcade, where they had a lot of like rhythm games, like just general Japanese games, cabinets. And there's even a section where they had Gundam. I didn't manage to get a good photo or video footage of it because I was playing on it a lot. And honestly, I regret not taking like more footage from that section. But this was awesome. I spent a lot of time at the Gundam, for sure. Like probably a good 1 or 2 hours per day. So yeah, this was really fun. This version of Gundam was Extreme Versus 2, not the newest one, I don't think. So unfortunately, even though it's from Japan, we still didn't have the opportunity to play the newest version, which I believe is Extreme Versus 2 Cross Boost. So that was a bit unfortunate. But yeah, basically there was like a lot of room, but at the same time, it felt like there was like so much to do that it didn't feel like I could ever get bored at all, even if I went for the third day, which was Friday. So like for that reason, I think the event was really well done and much better than Anaheim. We can go through a couple more photos. So, oh yeah, before we get to that one, this was like the entrance before you actually enter the hall, the convention hall. I think for this photo from early Saturday, because there's definitely a longer line afterwards. But regardless, what's kind of funny is that over here, which is where you could get your badge to check in after you've joined the line, I asked the guy where the fighting game section was, and he's like, "Fighting games? Do you mean Magic?" So take for that what you will. If you're going here for fighting games, expect to be met with very awkward glances when you mention what fighting games are or what they entail. I even tried mentioning Guilty Gear Strive, and he didn't know what that was. So that was pretty funny. I do think though, like these are like basically volunteers. They're not necessarily like people that are organizing the event, so they might not be as like super knowledgeable on everything that's being run. But of course, Magic has this big poster, so it's hard to not know that it's happening. And then you see like over here the Snapdragon Pro Series mobile esports. So hard to ignore those. But as you can see in this photo, there's nothing for fighting games. So that kind of says it all on its own, I guess. Here we go. So I can probably just flip through this, huh? So once again, this is just like the survey of the fighting game section. And I do want to focus like a little bit. There is something I forgot to point out. Over here was the main stage. This was probably the like low light of the event, in my opinion. For the most of the weekend, it wasn't really anything like annoying or bad. Like, in fact, it was pretty cool having the streamers do their things. There was a cosplay corner at one point. There was like a streamer podcast, I think, as well. But I think it was late Saturday, they had this concert. It was like some rock band. I don't know what the band was. I have no idea, honestly. But the first, like, the minute we heard them do like their mic test, their mic check, that was like, oh man, we know what we're in for now. Because it was just like this loud bass that just rumbled throughout the convention hall. Man, and I feel bad for some of the tournaments that were still going on, because there's actually still a Marvel tournament going on during that, and that must have been extremely annoying. The Marvel setups guys didn't even have like the those esports headphones, the noise canceling ones where it suppresses most of the noise from the outside, right? But even those headphones would not have helped. Like, it was extremely loud and just ear piercing. It was so bad. And then once that wasn't even when they started playing. When they started playing, people were jumping and screaming, right? But then the music itself got super loud as well, and it was just awful. I think if they're gonna have a concert at this sort of gaming expo event, they've got to have it on like a different floor or like completely separate area. I mean, I get it, right? Like they want to have people from like, you know, the fighting games and then other spots join in on the excitement and fun. But I feel like screaming for attention in that manner is not the way to do it, especially when there's tournaments going on at the same time. So that was definitely like one low light in my opinion. I hope they take feedback from people for the next convention that happens in the US, which I believe is going to be in Dallas, to not have the concert like right next to the tournaments. And actually, Marvel wasn't even the worst of it. There was also the Melee. I can try to show, because I honestly forgot to take footage of when this was happening, but the Melee top 8 was happening right here as well. And apparently one of the guys dropped his combo because there was like this loud sudden like jolt from when they're using their like bass guitar or whatever. And the guy managed to drop his combo. I'm not sure if it affected whether he lost the set, but he got pretty mad afterwards. And that was during the Melee top 8. So imagine if there were like a fighting game proper that was happening during that time on this stage. This was the fighting game stage. Man, that would have been extremely frustrating. And then over here was the Brawlhalla stage. Brawlhalla seems to have a pretty strong following and just good esports scene, good and healthy esports scene. The company, the devs, seem to support the game pretty well, not just in terms of prize money, but also like it seems like they hired some commentators specifically for the Brawlhalla stream and setup. So that was really cool to see again. I'm not a huge fan of Brawlhalla at all, but I respect what the company and the community is doing to support their esports scene. Hey, what's up, Not Gildis? What's up, Vizzy? Thanks you guys for coming through. Yeah, we're just chatting about DreamHack stuff. I don't normally do these kinds of streams, but it's nice to get out of the comfort zone a bit occasionally. Thanks you guys for coming through to support. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for coming through. We'll probably do Uni next time. Actually, I was gonna part of the DreamHack reflections. I was gonna watch a bit of the Uni from DreamHack San Diego, the playlist that we put together. And we'll talk about that when we get there. But, you know, I did want to talk about my thoughts on the entirety of the event itself before we get to the nitty-gritty. I appreciate it nonetheless. All right, yeah. So, yeah, Brawlhalla was over here, Melee over here, Smash was somewhere among these as well. Smash is in, like, Ultimate. It's funny, I keep saying, like, Smash when I'm not referring to Melee. Truly, Melee is not a Smash game. All right, and then over here, let me pause this before like letting the video play. Over here is like the King of the Hill. They had a lot of streamer events here as well. This was actually where they had like this event where you could challenge Jay Wong to basically like a money match. You don't have to put money yourself on the line. It was just a matter of if you beat him in one of the games that they provided, which I can pull up the list. I have it here somewhere. The list of games where you're allowed to challenge Jay Wong. And if you beat him in one of those games, you would get $50. The problem was they knew exactly what they were doing. They basically only allowed you to have a chance at Jaywong for only 2 hours, 4 to 6 on Friday and Saturday. And honestly, not that many people were there on Friday. Most people were there on Saturday. And on top of that, there were a lot of tournaments and events going on during the 4 to 6 time block. So they essentially, you know, shifted the odds in someone's favor right from the get-go. Let me try to find the games that were there. Maybe I can pull up this image too, but it's going to be difficult. So you're allowed to choose between Guilty Gear Strive, King of Fighters 15, UMVC 3, Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, Ultra Street Fighter 4, and MK11. And I know for sure there was at least one person that beat him in Guilty Gear Strive and one person that beat him in UMVC 3. I believe in UMVC 3 is actually beaten by Jabril, who was there for only Marvel 3, the tournament. And it's funny because Jabril actually lined up for the Beat Jay Wong event that was being held here right when like basically the line opened at 4, and he had to still wait 1 hour to get his turn, and that was close. That was a close call because again the Marvel tournament was at 5 p.m. I think 5 or 6, I can't remember. I think it was 5. But basically the Marvel tournament was like right against that Jay Wong beat Jay Wong event, and you know, he still had to get in the right mindset and focus in order to be ready for that tournament too. Which, by the way, guys, he happened to win. Jabril did, the Marvel tournament. That was a very good tournament. There's a lot of good players there. It was pretty stacked. So I highly recommend watching the VOD that TNS recorded, which should be on their channel already. And yeah, it's busy. It's brutal. Like having these, having all of these like gaming communities within mere meters, centimeters, if you will, of each other. It's definitely difficult to make great use of the space, but I think they did beautifully. But yeah, King of the Hill. This is where they had like streamer events. Then over here they had I think a panel at one point, like right here. Let me rewind a little bit. There's like this panel. I'm not sure if I recorded a footage or took photos when they had it, but it was like this, I think, cosplayer interview. And then this is like a better look on the main stage. Again, not the hugest main stage, and honestly, I feel like this could have been used for a second fighting game stream. Because again, guys, there were a ton of tournaments that were just not streamed. The UNICLR tournament, for example, was not streamed at all, and I really don't like that. I feel like we could have had at least a little bit of it on stream. But given how things went at Anaheim, it's totally understandable, because Anaheim had a total of 7 people, 7 guys, 7 that showed up in total out of, I think, 16 or something entrants. There were a bunch of DQs and 7 people ended up showing up. I was one of them. But we had a stream for Anaheim. We didn't have a stream for this one, and this one was the wrong time to not have one because there were 46 people in the UNICLR tournament. We could have had another stream setup, but as it turns out, this was used for miscellaneous things, which again is fine. I'm totally okay with it. But I feel like there was definitely an opportunity missed there. And given that there was a massive band that made much more noise than they should have, and interfered with some of the fighting game events happening right next to it, it was a shame. But yeah, this is the main stage. Yep. And then I think this next one is a photo. So this was from Saturday again. KOF 15 thankfully was streamed. Both the pools and the top 6 were streamed. There are a lot of good players for this one as well, but also a lot of people didn't quite show up that were expected to show up, so it was a bit unfortunate there too. Another photo from KOF 15 pools. And by the way, the TOs for KOF 15 were awesome. They showed up on time. They were very clear with the rules and instructions, and then they also were understanding and patient whenever people would be looking to get their matches queued up for the next round of pools or whatever. They were pretty patient, accommodating. This was from the, let me see, is this top 6? No, this is pools. Yeah, Chris G versus Yaman. If I can read, Yaman. I don't know. But yeah, that's from pools. So there's a nice little stream setup too. It was really cute, nice and cozy. Enough seats for people to enjoy it, but not too many seats where it felt like there wouldn't have been a crowd. You don't always want to have too many seats for this kind of thing, but then, because, people will start to take photos and it'll be like, no one showed up for fighting games, But no, people showed up. These seats were filled by the time top 6 started. And then the nice cameras as well. They brought a couple of cameramen as well during the top 6. So, yeah, it was really good. It was really well done. This is the photo we visited earlier from the fighting game section back when it was packed in the morning. Do I know the timestamp for this one? I'm not sure. Let me see. Probably find the timestamp somewhere. The timestamp. Okay, no, that's not correct because that's when I downloaded it. Okay, no, 10:36. Yep. 10:36. So that was pretty early, and you see how many people there were already. Another photo. Again, this is like the KO 15 section, but on that side is Strive, a little bit towards like that way, or that way, I guess, for the camera. Is the let's see, Smash. It looks like, yeah, Ultimate, and I think Tekken might have been there too. Maybe, I'm not sure. But either way, like, there were a ton of setups, basically. There were a ton of setups, which means that if you were out, you could play casuals and probably be fine. Like, there weren't a lot of, like, setups that were like, okay, only for pools. They were very quickly converted to casual setups. And I think having that amount of setups, never harmful. Especially when, there's going to be a lot of people that might want to just enjoy themselves after they're out of the tournament. I think that is what is part of what makes the event a bit more high quality. And then another photo of the KOF 15 pools. And then, as I mentioned earlier, is the Gundam. The AM/PM arcade was awesome. This is what that looks like, AM/PM arcade. Apparently, there was this group that brought in a lot of Japanese arcade cabs. We can get to that video soon. A lot of Japanese arcade cabs were brought over. This was one of them. I spent a lot of time on this. Gundam's like one of my favorite games, but I'm not able to play it as much as I want to because it's not on PC officially. So we'll see if one day it comes to PC proper. One day. So yeah, this is a short tour of the AM/PM arcade. This is like the rhythm games and other stuff. And then on the other end was the Gundam and the other fighting games. I didn't play most of these rhythm games. I'm not too big on rhythm games really. But I'm sure the people that really like rhythm games, this was their safe haven. Yeah. They had a little rhythm game section. This was part of the arcade. This is actually like, if you can see right here, the DreamHack Fighters like sign at the top. This is like right. Like, how do I say it? Like, this is like the AM/PM arcade, and this is the fighting game stuff, and then the stage is like on the other end. That's like how this was laid out. So it's like right next to all the fighting game setups. What's up, Zenryoku? Thanks for coming through, dude. We're just chatting about DreamHack. You know, super chill. But yeah, this was where all the rhythm games were. There was also DDR. I played that for one session with a friend of mine who's really into DDR, but I'm not like super big DDR fan. Neither am I like good. So, but yeah, it was fun. Some more good rhythm games. These a lot of these you would never see in the US, so it was really awesome to see them all in one place at this convention. Yeah, what's up, American? Yes, you were there, indeed. Yeah, I was just telling them that, like, you know, if you were a rhythm game enthusiast, this was like heaven on earth. And then I think DDR is right there somewhere. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. People having fun. You see how it's like, there's some old people, yeah, but there's quite a bit of, you know, what I imagine are middle-aged people, as well as a couple of families we saw as well. Like that's really important. Just like the range of demographic that you see at these kind of events does say a lot about, like, it does speak to like the quality of the event. Like basically, families do feel comfortable bringing their, you know, all of themselves to these kinds of events because there's a lot to enjoy for everyone. So that's a big deal. And mind you, these are not like cheap events, not just to run, but also to attend. So, like, you know, the family being able to bring like their children or relatives or whatever is really cool in my opinion. So yeah, that was the first section of the AM/PM arcade. Unfortunately, I didn't take footage of. Oh yeah, thank you, Zenryoku. Thank you. It's so funny. The NorCal dogfight event, I was like so focused on trying to do well in UNICLR, and then I ended up doing way better in BlazBlue. I do think I'm still trying to find the balance in that. I haven't even labbed BlazBlue in like a long time, so I guess just playing on instinct in that game is good enough because well, I mean, I guess it does help that I'm like super passionate about Kokonoha, so I guess that never left, but it's still like, man, like, it's so funny. It's like, yeah, I practiced so hard for UNICLR and then ended up doing way better in BlazBlue. But yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Am I going to Evo? Vizzy, I was supposed to decide on that after this event, actually, and I'm leaning towards yes, but now all of a sudden I really badly want to go to DreamHack Dallas. Even though the whole point of going to this event was that I had to choose between this and Dallas. But now I want to go to Dallas, especially since Jabali said that there will be fighting games at DreamHack Dallas. And then plus, I was already planning on going potentially for Intel Extreme Masters, CS:GO, Intel Extreme Masters Dallas. A lot of like some of the best CS:GO teams are going to be there, and it's probably going to be one of the last dances for CS:GO specifically as we transition to CS2. So I'm super looking forward to that one. I might go to DreamHack Dallas, but there's still like a high chance that I go to Evo as well. I haven't actually been to one, so it'd be a good opportunity to go today or this year. And yeah, big shouts to AMPM Arcade. It was sick. But yeah, that was a little walkthrough of that section. And then over here is like, if you were coming out of the AMPM Arcade, on the right hand side would be like towards the fighting games. On the left hand side would be the streamer King of the Hill. This is like, how do I say it? This is very close to all of that basically. This is like the stream studio. There's the King of the Hill, the pyramid. And then there's this way as well as like kind of like the main promenade towards like on the opposite end is the Rocket League Winter Major. There's also the BYOC, and then I think along the way is also the Snapdragon mobile esports stuff. So a lot. There's a ton to do. It's insane. And then there's also some merch over there as well on that end. And then this was during one of like the, like, I don't know. Okay, it's called Creator Gauntlet. So I guess like just streamers doing their content. There's Jabali right there. We caught him on camera. I didn't actually realize this when I was filming. I didn't know he was there, but apparently he was right here when I was filming.
20 seconds. I don't know.
And funny enough, this would have been a time where I wanted to use my tripod, but I was too lazy, right? My tripod came in super clutch for the UNICLR tournament because like that was like a major reason why I was able to put up with like recording all of those matches that we did, Wi-Fi Warrior and I. So I didn't use the tripod for this one obviously, but it came in clutch for day 3, which was Sunday when the UNICLR tournament happened. This side is like the streamer studio side. If you're facing, how do I say it? I think this is facing the opposite way of where the AMPM arcade stuff are. I'm not sure actually. But yeah, anyway, this is like the streamer studio, so I think streamers just came here. There was like OBS and stuff running on these setups, and then you can put your stream key on. They had these high quality mics, these PCs. I think my understanding is that you like sign up if you're a streamer, and then you can use these setups to run your stream from DreamHack itself. That's at least my understanding. But I honestly rarely saw people ever on these. It was pretty interesting. Oh, okay, no, this is not. This is actually the opposite side. So this is not the side where the AMPM arcade was. This is the side where the main stage is. So during this time, I think there was this little cosplay, like, book club, I guess, kind of thing. So like cosplayers were talking about something. I had no idea what they were talking about.
I'm so excited to see Edgy Toad.
Yes.
A couple people were watching, I guess, but it's still early in the morning, so it makes sense that there's not a ton of people.
I specifically was like, I'm gonna go watch it right now.
I heard the story.
Yeah, as you can see, there's a ton of people at fighting games because KO15 pools were about to start. They weren't starting at this point, but they were about to start. A lot of people got there early, including myself, so it was good that people were ready to, get the fight burning. And then let's see what else is there. So this is a photo of KO15 again. I don't remember when this one was. Let me see, Kizzy K spotted at the KO15 setups. KO15 top 6, so I think a lot of people had left by this point to get like food or something. I stuck around to watch the top 6. It was a really good top 6. A lot of good matches, especially the grand finals were really good. I highly recommend watching that one, guys. It's on TNS's channel if you do want to catch it. And then another photo from the top 6, Reynolds versus Chris G. Okay, so this is where we kind of divert from the FGC stuff. So this is a photo from Snapdragon Pro series being run by ESL. And it's important to note, guys, ESL and DreamHack are now the same company. So they did a merger some time ago. I don't remember when it was. But basically, that allows for like a lot of their integrations to be a lot smoother with running events like this. You wouldn't normally see their pro circuits being run at an event like DreamHack, which is more so meant for like, you know, festivities for the average gamer from the public. But having these esports events alongside or like as part of the event, I think allows for just like higher attractions. I didn't get a good angle of it, but there are actually a ton of people watching at this point. This is Clash of Clans being played right now. And as you can see, they have a pretty sophisticated setup for it. I mean, it's not like it's a super expensive stage or anything, but all things considered, I think they did a great job. They had all their stands, you know, I'm imagining they have some iPads, these players. They have their headphones for comms, you know, the crowd camera or something. I think this is actually fans that managed to sync up their jerseys with the team that they were rooting for. So really passionate fans there. But yeah, this was Clash of Clans. You know, Clash of Clans esports, we can talk about that some other time, but I'm impressed, honestly. Like, I didn't realize there was an esports scene for Clash of Clans specifically. I'm not too surprised, I guess, because this game was kind of, you know, driving home the competitive aspect of it quite a bit when I was playing when I was a wheel lad. But I still think this was really cool to see, especially at the level of events such as a DreamHack convention. This is really cool. Let me try to move along here. This was the top 6. I think this was at the very end of the top 6 for KOF 15. As you see, the commentators, St. Cola and Proxy, they're really good at commentary, of course. And the players lining up for their photos and their, I think their medals and trophies, I think, as well. So yeah. And then this photo is from one of my friends, actually 2 of my friends, playing in the Tekken bracket, I think, which was on Sunday, I want to say. I'm actually not sure. Let me try to see the metadata to get an accurate picture of that. The 8th, so yeah. Oh no, this was Saturday. Okay. So yeah, okay, Saturday. This was Saturday still. But yeah, they're playing Tekken in bracket, unfortunate. So it's basically a team kill. But that's bound to happen whenever both of any players do well. It's bound to happen. Another photo from the same thing. And then, of course, you know, we've seen a lot of the inside of the gamer menagerie, but we got to see a little bit of the real life, like the actual like location where DreamHack was taking place in San Diego. So just to give you guys an idea, this was taking place in the Gaslamp quarter of downtown San Diego. It's a kind of right up against the bayfront of San Diego. If you look at a map, there's like the San Diego like downtown, and then there's the bay, like which is close to the Pacific Ocean but not quite there. The convention center is like right up against the bay front, basically. There's also a hotel there. There's this train, as you can see, the railroad. But right here is the convention center, right where DreamHack is happening. I got a couple of photos from outside. I mean, the area is beautiful, so that was really helpful in terms of augmenting my personal experience. Another photo from outside of the convention center. And then this is facing towards downtown, specifically the Gaslamp quarter. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. There's sometimes with these pronunciations, man, there's always some random like silent letter or like, you know, some like a hard vowel sound like Goslomp or something instead of Gaslamp. You know, there's always some weird pronunciations. I hope I'm getting that right. But yeah, this is downtown. This is the street that is along the convention center, which is really big. And then this is the little stone sign outside of the convention center itself. And then, of course, you know, to showcase even further the beauty of the area, this is the bayfront I'm talking about. On the other side is a miniature. It's not really an island. I guess peninsula is the best way to describe it. I think a couple of residences and boats, of course. And the weather is really good as well. There was a lot of sun, but also a couple of clouds in there to make it feel more picturesque. So that was really cool. and then the bridge. And I guess this was a dole plant. I still have no idea what this like exact area is, but there, like when I was looking from outside of my hotel, which was like right here at the top left corner, I was seeing like a lot of trucks and these like storages of that were labeled Dole, which is I think a company that does like canned fruit, canned goods or something. So that was pretty interesting. This is a video. It's like coming out from the hotel alongside its adjacent promenade, and there's supposed to be. Oops, I didn't manage to pause it in time, but I believe that's supposed to be the San Diego Padres stadium right there, the baseball team. Yep. So there's a photo of that, and then back inside. This might be Sunday. I'm not sure, but basically, I never actually went upstairs to the Magic the Gathering stuff. But Magic the Gathering was taking place, like if you went up the escalator, they had the entire second floor to themselves. I believe there was also a retro games section where you could check out some, older retro consoles, retro games, retro controllers. One of my friends actually bought a cool DDR controller. I didn't manage to get a picture of it, but I actually didn't even go up there at all. I wasn't really that interested. I'm sure Magic is cool, but I'm not too fond on poking my nose over there when I'm not really that interested. Whereas, esports, at least I have a couple of things I'm interested about. So it was cool seeing both Brawl Stars and Clash of Clans there. But yeah, moving on. This quick video, I guess. Oh no, this is just like a live photo. Never mind. And then welcome to another world. Okay, Sunday. I think we're on Sunday now for sure. So Marvel 3 happened on Sunday. Again, a ton of high-profile players. I didn't, they're not all in this photo, but you can see Remora over here. There's a Priest right there, and then Ray as well. There was also Jabril. There was Cloud805. There was Mothman. There was trying to think who else. Man, it escapes me right now. Who else was there? I think the Captain America player, the name escapes me right now, but he was also there, the Captain America Phoenix Wright player. But yeah, there were a lot of good players at this tournament. It was a shame that it didn't get streamed again. It was similar to UNICLR, where they were just like, we're not going to stream it. So the community had to do their fair share of work getting the match recorded. TNS had a recording setup, so a lot of the high-profile matches were recorded there, and they're actually already uploaded. They did a great job of getting them uploaded on a great turnaround time. I believe they've actually been uploaded since the day after the event, so it's really good. They've been on top of it. It was like a live photo, and then I took a short recording. This is not a full match, but this was one of Cloud805's matches. A lot of people were watching. There's why am I forgetting his name? Man, one of you guys, if you know his name, please help me out. But anyway, he's the Captain America player. And then there's DeX Pride as well, Priest, Cloud805, the names that we're used to seeing in the Marvel scene right now. I didn't record all of this. In fact, I didn't really record much of the Marvel stuff at all. I was trying to just take it all in and enjoy myself, but I'll definitely next time try to record more of it from my perspective. It's just that there was a lot that was happening. I didn't want to miss it with my very own eyes, But yeah, this was from the Marvel tournament. This was a photo from. So Brawlhalla was working overtime. I think they had to do broadcast each of the 3 days, pretty much all day, because there was a number of tournaments going on. There was the singles tournament, there was the doubles tournament, and then there might have been some other event that was involving like an exhibition of some kind. Regardless, though, they had to shuffle through a bunch of commentators. They really kept it professional and clean. There are a lot of people watching as well. Notice how the audience is relatively younger on average than most of the fighting games. That's just something I want to point out. Nothing. I'm not trying to be some way. This is something I want to point out because I've always find it interesting. Seeing the demographics for each game. This is the live photo. They're given a good setup. It's not too insane, but the guy's got his laptop and they're both looking at a monitor. There's a lot of good lighting on this stage. So really cool. And then the actual stream projector is somewhere up there somewhere. There it is. There we go. That was the next photo. But yeah, that's Brawlhalla. Okay, so this is towards the other end of the convention hall. This is past the second section of the AMPM arcade where Gundam was. As you can see, ESL Faceit, I believe it's all the same company. ESL Faceit, DreamHack, they're all the same company right now. So I guess they were just trying to hire a few people or catch potential interested parties. This is, yeah, okay, this is from the Gundam side with all the fighting games and stuff of the AMPM arcade. Here's Free Play. So Free Play was here, and then across from it was, I think, BYOC. There were a lot of people just playing random games like Fortnite, Valorant, League, some Counter-Strike people as well. And on the other side, same idea. Some people were playing party games on the Switch as well, so that was really cool. There's the BYOC.
Oh my god!
Another photo of the BYOC. And then Artist Alley was at the opposite end. At the time I made my way over here, as you can see, there's the belt. This was closed off. I think I came too late on this day. It was still Saturday, but on Sunday, this is when I came back here. They were definitely open. There in that small corner on the other side is the Rocket League Winter Major, and then live photo of that. And then what was this? I don't remember what this is. I think this was just like the Snapdragon Mobile Series merch. So people that were watching the Clash of Clans or the Brawl Stars, they could get photos with whatever this is, and then buy some shirts of their favorite players or something. I don't know. Yeah, there's the the sign for it. Some sponsors. See, Samsung is providing. I imagine Samsung providing the tablets. So it's not like iPads literally, but they're providing the tablets. And then you can see also ESL, DreamHack, Faceit sponsors, U.S. Air Force, Monster Energy, DHL, and Intel, I think. But Intel wasn't sponsoring this one, I guess, so they couldn't put them on there. Another photo of when it was relatively empty on the mobile esports stage. And then this is of the Free Play again, just another angle. Over here, okay, so over here is actually interesting. I actually ran into Zwynot. Zwynot was the one of the finalists at Slashback for Guilty Gear Exart. I ran into him and Comerican over here while they were playing some Exart, I believe. These cabs were APM cabs, All-Net PRAS Multi. These are like super famous cabs. If you guys aren't familiar with them, this is where all of the UNIST was played at the arcades during the heyday of UNICLR. Or I said UNICLR. During the heyday of Undernight, back in, I'd say, like 2017 to 2019 was the heyday. These are the same cabs that they would play on over there in Japan. So they had them over here as well, which was cool. But it felt a little bit out of place. This section didn't seem like the right place to have these cabs. It seemed kind of random. They could have had them at the AMPM arcades, but regardless, it was really cool to have them here. People were playing Exart at the time I came through, but I believe since they're APM cabs, they probably also had some Undernight and other games. Of course, at the time they came, it was closed, so it was unfortunate. Autism Society, I believe money was raised for the Autism Society of San Diego, so actually it was mentioned in a tweet from one of the event organizers that they raised quite a bit of money, so that was really cool. And then this is like showing, I don't know what this is showing. Oh, the cosplay stuff. Okay, yeah. The map. And then this is the picture of the skyline, I guess, of downtown San Diego from where I was staying in my hotel room. The views were insane. This was on Sunday, where there was a bit of an overcast earlier into the day, but it looked really nice. Like this is these kinds of photos are some of my favorite things to do when I'm on vacation or traveling somewhere. So this was from Sunday, the overcast in the morning of the San Diego downtown skyline near the convention center. live photo. And then okay, so yeah, we're definitely on Sunday now. This is UNICLR. This is the UNICLR setup. There was actually only two stations for UNICLR. This one, and then there's one right next to it that's kind of off the camera a little bit. But yeah, this was well before a lot of people showed up for UNICLR. I was there pretty early. I warmed up a little bit, but I didn't warm up too much because I wanted to stay pretty, fresh in my mind. I didn't want to interfere with my, groove. So I took it easy in the early parts of the day. And then this is actually like one of the few videos I actually spoke in. Basically, right here is the Brawl Stars day. I did not know it for a long time that Brawl Stars was happening because I've literally never... I can't like look at Brawl Stars and identify that that's Brawl Stars because I hadn't really paid too much attention to the game, but I was vaguely familiar with it, I guess. This was like during the draft phase of the event that was happening between STMN Esports and Winged Team, I think. I don't know. If you guys know Brawl Stars Esports, then feel free to correct me on that. But yeah, this is from Brawl Stars.
Hope to find out soon, though. Supposedly this would give a hint, but I have no idea what.
And again, like, big props to them because they were really professional with running this. Of course, they had only 3 stands on this day, unlike the 5 they had for Clash of Clans. But the commentators were professional. I didn't really get any sense that they were like goofing around like sometimes you'd see in perhaps League or other esports. They definitely were like full business mode for this event. There were more people earlier before the draft phase, I believe. There were like analysts and stuff, and then there was also the photographers, the cameramen, etc. So yeah, they definitely carry themselves with a lot of proper conduct and stuff. So it's really cool. And then this is on Sunday, the like early parts of the day before the final parts of the Rocket League Winter Major. Rocket League is not a game I'm like super like familiar with playing, but I've watched a little bit of it. It looks sick to watch, and I do respect the esports scene because it's a much easier to follow game than some of the other esports games like Overwatch or Valorant.
Seems pretty intense. I think Rocket League is definitely a cool game.
Obviously not as many people here right now, but eventually there's eventually most of these seats are honestly filled. Like I think it was like midway through the day. I'm not sure if I caught a good video of it because right as I was getting there, it was actually just finished. So people were starting to leave, but there was like a ton of people because these seats were basically all filled once the finals began.
It doesn't look like they're actually playing right now.
This is like another angle of it. This is where the players' seats are seated, and notice how it's like the setup is the players in the center, and then the crowd is all around it. I feel like that's an interesting setup. This was also used at the Rio Major for CS:GO last year, and it received a lot of criticism because the fans at Rio were relatively, how do I say it? They're relatively belligerent, so they weren't the most friendly of fans, especially if you weren't from the hometown Brazil. So there's something to be said about that, but I feel like that's not the case over here in the US, so probably not as big of an issue. And this allows for like more intimacy with the crowd as well, who I imagine are big fans of the players. And then this is some racing sim thing that was stationed near the merchandise section. This is as they're starting to get ready for the Winter Major. First matches of the last day. Yep, and then this is a better angle on the commentators for the Brawl Stars esports thing. The Brawl Stars mobile esports. I couldn't get like a taller angle. I should have just used my tripod for this, but regardless, there it is. They're doing an interview as well here, and this interview is conducted professionally too. Mind you, remember, there's like families and children watching, so I think it's really important to broaden the prospects of the potential audience that could be viewing. So I think it's really good that they conducted it professionally. Oh, is that it? That looks like that's it. Wow. Well, we somehow made it through every single one of the photos. I actually thought I had taken more. Maybe. Oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't download all of them. That's right. Well, regardless, those are the photos and videos I took from DreamHack. I guess that kind of helps better tell the story. So if you guys didn't already guess, yes, I enjoyed myself a ton at DreamHack San Diego. Would I go again? I would definitely go again, but as I mentioned, I hope they improve on actually having streams for some of the lesser, known fighting games. Like they had a UNICLR stream at Anaheim. It was puzzling that they didn't have one this time, although it's not surprising given that the Anaheim turnout wasn't probably where they wanted it to be. They should have also had a stream for sure though for Marvel 3. Like that one made no sense at all. I think Melee was happening during that time. I understand streaming Melee. I mean, Smash definitely gets a lot of love at DreamHack in general, but I feel like it would just be much better if a lot of other games can get streams as well, even if they're side streams. They didn't even allow us explicitly. Like, they explicitly disallowed us from streaming whatsoever, because I imagine they didn't want us to interfere with the internet connection that they were using for the streams that are being done for Brawlhalla, for Smash, and then for whatever other events that were being run at the event. Of course, it's important to keep in mind that they need a lot of like power and internet bandwidth to be able to put on these scale of events for multiple communities. So yeah, just the streaming stuff, and then of course the band being super loud. Like, please don't have the band right next to the tournaments again, especially if they're going to be that loud. Otherwise, I'd definitely go again. I plan on going to DreamHack Dallas once I can figure out the the hotel and the flight plans and stuff. Of course, scheduling it this far out, it's going to happen in June, early June. So scheduling it this far out would probably be ideal just to get that best ticket option. But I'm still waiting to hear on what fighting games will be there. Of course, the CSGO is good, but I do want to be able to enter a couple of tournaments if there are going to be fighting games there. So I'll probably wait to hear from Jabali on Twitter more on that. But I'll definitely go to DreamHack again, and I recommend those of you that have not gone to DreamHack before, check it out. It's one of the most fun, nerd culture gaming events that I've ever been to. There's a lot to do if you're not just like interested in fighting games. If you're interested in more things related to gaming, there's a ton to do there, and I think there's a lot of chances to, garner some interest in those if you weren't previously interested in them. So, yeah, there's a lot to do there. Definitely recommend it for anyone that's not been. All right, let's go ahead and that's enough about DreamHack. We spent how long on that? We spent whoa, there's no way this has been 2 hours. No, okay, no, yeah, 1 hour and 30 minutes. That's fair. That's fine. Okay, so we'll talk about the UNICLR tournament more specifically. Let me try to find. There we go. All right, so UNICLR tournament. We recorded, as I mentioned, a ton of the games that happened. Let me move that down. We recorded a ton of the games. I personally recorded between myself and my friend Wi-Fi Warrior that was helping me record it. We recorded a total of like 18 or 19 matches, and then other people recorded. If I can do math. 15 matches between the other people. That was Mario, Mega Nikon, Kotai, Kyle, and Crispy Nacho. Shoutouts to them for getting some matches recorded and uploading them. And then we got them all into this playlist. So big thanks to them. We can go ahead and watch a select few of them. Of course, we'll watch my first match, which was against UDIMM. There's a couple of things about this match that I'm not too happy about, but it's like my main goal in this tournament was not really to like necessarily get an excellent result. It was more so just to like play better without like getting frustrated or tilted, and then also just look out for specific things that could help me potentially beat my very opponent rather than playing with a more pre-canned or pre-rehearsed game plan. So we can watch a little bit of this. This is myself versus UDIMM. This was round 2, winners round 2. Akatsuki is not really like the best matchup for Nanasev, but I mean, that aside, I know enough about this matchup where that's not really any sort of excuse I can make here. I just definitely didn't play with a lot of, like, I played a bit more confidently than I usually had been playing, but it still wasn't the cleanest. And looking at how the tournament finished, there were a lot of people that I can and have beaten that finished within the top 5 even, or top 4. So knowing that, for sure I could have just played better. But the important part is that I didn't like get frustrated or tilted during these matches. So of course watching them back over is a completely different thing. I can go for more throws as well. That's definitely something I can improve on. Yeah, and this VO obviously not good, but I actually feel like UDIMM definitely could have killed. He went for like a very safe combo. He definitely could have killed off of that 6C punish. And here I was playing extremely patiently, not pressing anything. A couple times I was doing 8 COS, which would have been good here, but and I died with CS2, which was the worst. Like, you don't want to die with CS. There I can easily just, after you throw text, I can just delay CS. A lot of people CS right away, but people are present in mind of that and won't immediately press on their +8. So if you delay CS, you have a better chance of catching them press something. There I didn't CS at all though, which is pretty bad, considering I still had some VO time and I had super CS available, the 6 or more grid block CS. And my Okuzeme was pretty poor as well. I mean, obviously I missed the Ender there, but the Okuzeme was really just not threatening enough. I feel like a lot of these hits I got were actually off of UDIMM's combo drops. So some nerfs from both of us. There I could have spent, or no, I couldn't have spent anything. Never mind. Dude, this CS expenditure is fine, but you see there was a green shield I missed. You definitely want to grid break Akatsuki in that situation because that locks out a lot of his better defensive options, save for like parry and such. There was a grid break there off of throw. That was probably my only successful throw this entire set. And off of that CS block parry, I missed the punish. It's actually very, very punishable. Not very, very, but like it's like I think -6 Akatsuki's blocked parry attack. So there was a chance for me to get a combo there. This was just good presence of mind from UDIMM, making sure to maintain a CS until I had opted for the EX sword car, and then go for the punish. And again, special thanks to Megan Ekon who recorded this one. It was good to be able to look back over this when I had first seen it. Yeah, again, like this, I think UDIMM's definitely a caliber of player that I can beat, but beyond that, I have to start getting used to just playing in my more so comfort zone and not let the opponent like dictate too much of how I play. So this is one that Wi-Fi Warrior recorded on my behalf. Geo Commander versus Young Goki. There were a bit of issues with the tripod early on, so let me skip through a little bit. But yeah, Geo Commander, I actually faced him at Slashback in my elimination game. It was to qualify for, I think, top 16 at Slashback. And he's definitely a good Gordeau, but I wasn't like practiced enough at Slashback at the time. And interestingly, I didn't know that he was going to DreamHack. Of course, it makes sense because of the region he's from. I didn't know he was going to DreamHack. So when I played him in casuals on Saturday, I actually didn't realize it was him. We played first to 3 +1. Or no, not +1. It was like plus a couple more. I won the first to 3, and then he won like the next 2 or something, and then I won the last one. It was something like that. But like definitely like it's to say that I, you know, had a decent shot at making it far enough. Given that especially he finished in top 4 at this tournament, which I think was definitely a strong performance from him. So good stuff to him for sure. But yeah, this is against Young Goki's Oria. And I feel like this is not like too particularly easy of a matchup for Oria necessarily. She has to respect the initiative from Gordo quite a bit. And by the way, guys, if you are interested in catching this playlist, one second, let me pause it. Let me put the playlist link in the description. This is something that we worked on for a couple of days after DreamHack San Diego last weekend, so I just want to make sure that it's there for you guys to view in your own convenience if you didn't already see the post I made. All right. Again, we won't watch all of these. I just want to watch a few of them. We'll get to the, higher profile matches. But I just wanted to take note of Geo Commander for a bit because he definitely had a strong performance at DreamHack last weekend. This is a Gordo classic. That was a nice confirm too. I think one thing that's like a lot of these players do much better than myself is that they have a strong pools game plan. I don't really have a refined enough pools game plan at the moment, so that causes me to like perhaps not play as well as I can in these sort of early phases of the tournaments. It's good to have like a flowchart or game plan that for opponents that are early on into your pool, because you still just want to, like, all that matters in the end is finding how to beat the opponent that's in front of you. And if you don't have like a way to get there, then you put yourself in a lot excuse me, you put yourself in a lot more danger and jeopardy than you would otherwise. Okay, so that's all for that one. Let me see, are there any other ones noteworthy? Okay, so yeah, this is winners quarters. I think the round after winners round 3, or maybe after round 2. Regardless, actually no, it's round 2, yeah. So this is a high profile matchup. Both were seeded pretty well. Of course, Mario was seeded number 1 from having won Slashback in a number of the other recent UNICLR events this year. Mega Necron has also performed pretty well at locals and online tournaments, so definitely deserved. So just important to prove yourself, especially if you want to have the best opportunities you can at these tournaments. Oh, that was a good two-way match. Oh dear, yeah. I think actually that CS from Mega Necron was pretty risky because it might have given Mario time to like actually block something. Oh yeah, another thing too, like Mario likes doing a lot 214X CS, like before it actually connects. To see if you shielded or something or pressed a button. Even though it's not strictly like plus, it still presents favorable RPS for Wagner because she has 2 5 frames and then she has a strong suite of DPs, so it's not too bad a position for her. But at the end there, the 50-50 was shielded and then DP'd, so Mario obviously has the knowledge on non-assist 50-50. Yeah, this is so sick. These J2C frame kills can really cause you to flinch. Like, this is not something I've seen a lot of Wagner players necessarily employ, but it just allows you to get a better timed media, I imagine, and then also potentially mess with opponents that are looking for specific things, such as like throw timings or whatever. Because it still leaves you plus that frame kill, allows you to do plenty of nasty, gross things once you've conditioned them. So that's it for that one. Okay, so and that's me playing my other match. I think I was playing against Aru in losers. I lost that one, but that was what was ongoing during this recording. Okay, and then this one, Geo Commander versus Octo. Let's see. There's a lot of matches, so we're not gonna watch all of them, obviously, but I do want to get to like the marquee ones. Okay, JDR versus Octo was a good match, so we can watch that one. And then we'll probably watch the grand finals. The last set of the grand finals. Because it's too much to watch. But you guys feel free to watch this on your own time. These are all uploaded in the playlist as mentioned. It's in the description. So Octo's another non-set, I believe. They're from NorCal. I'm not sure though. West Coast either way. So NorCal and NorCal action. Backtech 2C, the classic. One sec, guys. Let me turn down my speaker volume so that doesn't echo as much. You guys will still hear it at the same volume level, but just make sure that it doesn't echo as much. Oh, that was ADP? Are you serious? That was a nice block from JDR. That's interesting situation to go for 50-50, I feel like, because Octo spent 200 meter effectively. Like, it was ADP into J214C, and then at the end of the combo spent the meter on, you know, the 50-50 setup. I think you want to save that for some other kind of confirms that don't end up having a lot of scaling at the beginning. That was a nice J2D6, or that was a nice 2D6. Yeah. Ah, man, is this what I just have to do? I just have to find the pools, the get out of pools strategies. Oh man. This might have to be what I have to do. It's not even the tournament combos, it's the get out of pools combos and strategies. Oh, I think JDR meant to do Palebringer there. That would have worked at least. Oh my goodness, that was a sick tornado. Yeah, it's pretty risky to set J236B Oki. What's up, Salami man? You gotta turn off your brain in pools. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. Yeah, I think that's definitely something I don't do. I just gotta run the non-assist stuff. Because yeah, I'm looking at these and it's just, you know, you just gotta swing, really. It makes sense, right? Because there's not a lot of time to like actually read your opponent. A lot of characters in this game have things that are just, you know, completely meant for being ignorant, like Hilda's 50/50, Batista's everything. So you're definitely right. Yeah, definitely just gotta play more in the tournament environment to get used to that. Oh my goodness. Aw, if he had done 3C jump cancel, it would have worked. Oh, that was nice. Yeah, and one thing I'm noticing too is like both JDR and Octo played super fast paced. There was not a lot of sitting there and waiting or passivity. I don't know how to say it. But regardless, both of them were like just super preemptive, trying to get into each other's faces. Oh, that was a risky VO. I'm not sure if it actually got Octo much, right? Because this was, yeah, JDR still won the cycle. This was like too early into the cycle. I don't think JDR had Warble earlier. Yeah. Oh no, he did. Okay, I guess that makes sense. A little bit. Yeah, at this point, Nana is in trouble with a timeout situation. Oh no, I don't think Octo can win this though. Oh my goodness. What's funny is that even if Octo, like, I think even if Octo blocked that DP or baited it somehow, I still think there would have been enough time. Because Hyde's DP just takes so long. Yeah, he did run up ADP, yeah. Run up ADP CS. But to be fair, Octo was respecting. Like, Octo was respecting the CS for sure on Wake Up. But yeah, that was an interesting match. I have no idea how to feel about this, right? Because this was 7 minutes 40 seconds. It ended up being a 2-1. That's a super fast 2-1 set. I mean, of course, there was like one close to timeout situation, but it felt really fast paced nonetheless. But yeah, that was deep into losers, and then there's another match I wanted to highlight. Let's see. There's JDR Mega Necon. We already watched Hyde Nanaset, you know. It's fine. I don't know. We can just skip on that Wait, how is there... Oh, man. I might have mislabeled my match, because there's no way this was losers, and then the next one with Octo was losers, too. That's just not possible. Unless this was mislabeled, too. I don't know. Whatever. No one's complained about it yet. Okay, Mario versus Ethereum. This was recorded by Crispy Nachos. I'm not sure if this is audio. Maybe it does. It's really low or really faint. Oh, nice throw. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that wake up mash kind of makes sense. Oh my gosh. Double dash B. Flashbacks of Vanilla Uni dash B loops. Hide dash B loops. Oh my goodness, yeah, that's legit. ADP in like one of those post CS situations is very, very legit. Especially when you have meter. Oh my, that was beautiful. That was nice. You know, sometimes I just don't expect a Tatsu to actually like crush some of these like low property moves, whatever they're called. But when it does happen, it's like, yeah, that's what the move's supposed to do. Oh, nice. Yep. Oh, for a second I thought that would cleanly beat Akatsuki's DP. I guess the time in between the 3 hits of Akatsuki's DP is just too long. Oh, nice frame kills, but it was still teched. My goodness. That easily could have been like an Ethereum game. It was really that close. I honestly don't see a lot of people. So Mario showed me the countermeasures for Wagner's Adro follow-ups, as of UNICLR, of course, because they're different now than they were in Unis. And the countermeasures seem to be very intuitive, but I feel like actually Akatsuki has a much easier time employing those countermeasures than some other characters. Although, despite that, I still haven't seen much of that being shown like by any of the players in this tournament. So, like, cause he was saying like, you know, when I played him in casuals at AFK a couple weeks back, he was saying like, you know, you definitely don't want to allow Wagner players to just get a free pressure reset. So it's not like Unist where drill follows actually were just free pressure resets. Nowadays, there's like an RPS behind it, which is honestly not the greatest RPS for Wagner if she's against a character with a proper DP like Akatsuki. Or, you know, Akatsuki has more than just the DP, right? He also has the parry and ADP, both of which are just as effective for dealing with it. That was a sick round from Ethereum, the previous one was. the corner. Oh, what a 6B. Well, I don't know if he'll get cycled. Yes, the VO strip. It's Wagner. What am I saying? She can VO strip off of anything. Yeah. Wake up throw. Oh, that was sick. Oh, and she combos from that. Oh my. That I just learned that today, that she can combo from that. Nice, confirmed. Man, this was an intense match. I can't believe I didn't watch this one. I mean, of course, I was playing or recording something else during this match, but I didn't watch this one back over until adding it to the playlist. This is my first time watching this match right now, so that was a good one. It was 2-0, but like that definitely felt like Mario was pushed to the brink. Okay, this is losers quarters. This is another like important match, I'd say. This is Mega Neko versus Mega Nekon. There we go. Versus Geo Commander. Sorry about the shaking. That my tripod had issues all weekend, so it was pretty rough. Nice stagger. Sometimes you're better at mashing 2C. That's really good awareness. Because yeah, if someone green shields the 3C, it's definitely possible for Gordo to just EX command grab after to punish. Let's go, DP. You just gotta get that in their head, that DP is the actual option. Not sure about that CS, but it's not a huge deal. Oh, nice. Okay, conditioning from earlier. Yeah. Actually, Mega Nekon, I think he could have CS'd into something like J214C. It doesn't always work, obviously, but like I think he definitely had a chance to do at least something to prevent himself from being hit by the EXDP. EX Grim Reaper. Oh, the punish. Nice. Oh, mash. You know, yeah, these days, oh yeah, this one was blocked. Apparently it was out of range, the IW, so it was awkward. It's hard to say what would have actually worked, especially my not being there. You know, maybe EXDP would have worked, who knows. What was I gonna say earlier before that though? Oh yeah, he mashed. Yeah. I usually prefer doing J8C because it still covers the command grab and allows you to like proper jump rather than potentially getting mashed by or potentially getting called out by like 2C. Of course, they can still call you out with like with 214B, but I mean they don't get that much off of that. They can also call you out with delay 2C, but if they do delay 2C, that's not a meaty anymore. So that's kind of a win, I'd say. Because if they don't meaty you, then you can just mash. So like that's how it becomes like the RPS, I guess.
Oh, that's saucy. Oh.
Wait, can you not punish? I think you can punish Gordo's shielded mortar slide follow up at that range. Oh, you got mashed. Man. Oh, nice whip punish. Yep. This match just had a lot of like small decisions, very small decisions that could have like changed things completely, really. Oh, he dropped it, man. That was a good match. Okay, this one is Knots versus ETHERIUM. Yeah, this was recorded by Kotai Kyle. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. I remember when we met at DreamHack, you just said Kyle, so I wasn't sure how to pronounce the Kotai part, but if that's incorrect, I'm sorry. Regardless, yeah, Knots Wagner versus Ethan Makatsuki. Knots had some good placings early this year. He also had a good placing at Slashback, of course. Oh, nice catch. Yeah. I think actually that's something Mario didn't do enough. He didn't rebeat enough. It's weird to say. But I think especially against ETHERIUM Zakotski, he didn't rebeat enough to catch those parries. Now obviously he still won, but it was so close, right? Like it was 2-0, but it was legitimately close. Every single game went to final round. Even in the final round, the deficit wasn't that large. So that being said, I do feel like Knots already calling out the parry like in a much cleaner fashion by going for these rebeats, but of course still in a weird position right now in the corner against Kotsky. Okay, the shield instead. Yeah, one thing about Wagner's 214X, yeah, shielding is good as well, of course, when it's successful, which is why we see Mario oftentimes do 214X with CS, and then he allows them to see if the opponent's shielded, green shielded or not. And if they green shielded, you can obviously throw. If they didn't green shield, it's still an extremely favorable RPS for Wagner just because of her 5-frame at 5A, 5-frame 2A, her ADP, her BDP. She has a far backdash as well. And then you can even try J2C. It's a dive kick. It's not the best dive kick, but it's still a dive kick. But Knots opted for instead just allowing it to get shielded. Of course, he didn't have Vorpal to make it anything else, right? But that round is a steamroll. So I do feel like Knots did a better job of calling out specifically some of Akatsuki's available options on defense. Oh, but didn't call it out there. To be fair, it was after 6C, so it's definitely a weirder position than normal. Oh dear me. Yeah, Akatsuki's DP is so weird. It like if you don't stand block it and walk back, then it side switches you. So it's super like if you're trying to keep the corner, it's like, ah man, I got side switch. Now I have to do my side switch combo, which might do less. Oh my goodness, that worked? That's the air throw against 6C. And that actually did a ton. That did 3.7. Nice. Yep. Okay, not like at Slashback where that dropped. I'm not sure if you guys remember from Slashback, but he did a similar, like, you know, the drill follow-up and it's a CBO and it actually dropped. I still don't know how that happened. I'm sure they haven't even looked back at that. So they're probably confident enough that it would work. Okay, so winners finals. We're not going to watch this. We're going to watch grand finals. Winners finals is good to watch, yes, but I'm looking at the time. We're 2 hours into this. We're going to skip to the grand finals. Or maybe losers finals. Let me see. Yeah, well, I guess we'll do losers finals, sure. We haven't actually watched any of Cap and Sugar's matches so far. I think there were a good amount of them recorded, I want to say. But the problem is that there's not really a problem. The real problem is that this wasn't streamed. But the problem that we had was that the matches were being called, and I wasn't able to get the hold of the TOs before the matches were being called in order to like see if I could start recording them or have WiFi start recording them. Which everyone else did a good job of catching the other matches as well. So yeah, but I imagine there were quite a bit of Cap and Sugar's matches that were just unable to be caught. Yeah, 60 is always awkward, no canceled. I think it's minus. Let me pull up the number. It's like it's pretty minus, right? But it's like sometimes the spacing means that it's awkward to try to press the offensive. Oh, it's only -5. Are you kidding me? So it's I mean, it's punishable, but like, man, come on. I'm sure Lin's 5A could actually reach to punish, but it's still like, come on, man. Why is that -5? Then you try to punish it, and then you get whiff punished. Okay, this was sick. This was sick. He was churning that DP. I don't agree with spending CS at the end, but I'm sure he was feeling it, right? Like that 5C was completely bodied, and then he churned that DP during the hit stop. Fortunately, that DP has enough startup where the rest of the how is it called, armor frames weren't able to go through any of the DP, so we got the full hits of the DP. Save for the hits that he CS'd, of course. Nice, yeah, that's the perfect button for that. 6B. Oh, Kotai Kyle, what's up? Yeah, VOD reviewing. Yeah, we talked a little bit about some of the earlier matches. My conclusion is just that you have to have a pools game plan. That's something I definitely didn't have for this tournament. But towards like the latter part of the tournament, there's definitely more refined gameplay. So, yeah, we're starting to take a look at these matches. And by the way, I just want to make sure to let you know, thanks again for helping out with the recording and getting these matches uploaded, because that's what has allowed us to watch some of these right now. Be like me, don't think, just do. You know, that is true. You are embodying the philosophies of Yuzu herself. I think her pre-round, what's it called? Her pre-round blurb of text is like, she doesn't think. So yeah, I think I definitely have to follow along her path as well. And yeah, thanks again. I think Knots did really well in this match, actually. It's surprising that he wasn't, I don't know how to say this. It's surprising how the score actually ended up, in my opinion. I mean, that's how in the zone Captain Sugar was, I guess. But this is definitely one of his best performances to date. And through thick and through thin, he's always been able to look to the old reliable force function OS. The GPs, it didn't work that time. Nice. 2C, 2B. Wagner's 2C, 2B is crazy. It's a crazy string. One day when I get to analyzing one of the players of this character, we'll definitely talk about, you know, the equivalent for, you know, Wagner's tried and true string equivalent that Seth had is like for Seth is 2B, 2A, 2C. For Wagner's definitely like 2B, 2C or 2C, 2B. The famous sweep that you see across pretty much every fighting game. Nice. Oh, okay, that was beautiful CS timing. I mean, obviously good block from Captain Sugar, right? But that CS timing was right where it needed to be, because it was early into Knots having won the next cycle. So he didn't have to give up like most of the cycle, although of course Captain Sugar wasn't getting hit during that whole time frame, so thankfully it didn't hurt his chance at the cycle too much. But that was a really good round from Knots. Nice. Oh my god. Such bravery. We all aspire to have. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Yeah, it's so hard to punish that because even though, yes, dive kick when you shield is punishable, but it happens so fast that like I feel like it's just not reactable to punish that, even when you shield it. You just have to be ready. Which is why a lot of Lim players are able to get away with stuff like whiff dive kick in the throw, or like just even when dive kick's blocked, they're able to still like keep their turn or something. Yeah, That's brutal. You know, the dive kick was also the Achilles heel, I think, for Mario in the grand finals. We won't watch set 1 where it was more prominent, but we'll watch set 2 where it does come up a little bit. Oh my goodness, yeah. That's just sublime. A lot of people talk about some of Lin's buttons like 5C or 2B, but I think 6B is actually just in a class of its own. The premier whiff punishing button, or just footsie's button in general. Nice. Sweet spot Wagner spacing. But Knott's played super well in this set. Like, it's amazing. Like, yeah, obviously, you know, Captain Sugar gets a really good hit here. I don't think he's able to kill from this. Yeah, definitely not with this combo. But, like, Knott's played insanely well. And it's just unfortunate how things ended. Yeah. Sometimes your opponent just has the better read. Okay, there's set 1. As I mentioned, you know, there's a lot of good stuff in this set. But we'll watch set 2. You guys feel free to watch set 2 or set 1 on your own time. Highly recommend. You'll see sort of the early conditioning start to develop in this certain head-to-head. And it's worth noting too because Mario actually beat Captain Sugar in the winners finals 3-0. Seeing how differently the grand finals went to contrast is definitely very interesting. Like, you know, from my perspective as a spectator, I was also recording this match, of course. I think I did notice a couple of times where Mario perhaps was starting to exhibit frustration or play on tilt, like you know, getting hit by that dive kick, for example, right? It's definitely like, you know, like a head tilt kind of thing, but yeah, and then there as well. That one definitely, like, I can feel that, right? Because he did 5A, which is, strictly speaking, probably the right button to press, but it doesn't always work that way. Like, Captain Sugar definitely got in his head at a certain point. It was between set 1 and set 2, I think, where it happened, that I noticed at least. And I'm not sure what Mario pressed there. You know, because I feel like if you press 5A, that certainly would have won. Or I have to believe that at least. But perhaps you press 5B or something. I want to check quickly how fast Lin's 6B is. I mean, I know it's a good button, right? But we want to form the better picture than just saying vaguely it's a good button. No hand waving here. So Wagner 6B, or Lin 6B is 7 frames. So just as fast as advertised. And then, Wagner's 5B, I believe, is 7 frames as well. Yeah, it is. So I don't know. Maybe I have to imagine you press 5B, right? There's no way you press 2B. That was a nice grid break, but there was a back tech. I want to see what was there. What did he do that caused the back tech to happen? Oh, he did dash B frame kill. You know, it's good to do mid screen, but it's good to do in the corner, but mid screen is like you do have to be careful because if they back tech, then Wagner doesn't get a meaty most of the time unless it's like exactly dash C, which I'm not sure if dash is even meaty still. Of course, I'm not a Wagner player, so I can't say that with 100% confidence, but he still won the round there, so I guess everything was okay. Of course, the grid break certainly helped. Nice, nice. That was a reaction. Oh! Here we go. Oh, and he cashed out. This was a 6B starter. Yeah, interesting decision actually. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously Wagner gets double buff, and it looks like he's probably gonna kill from this. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's Wagner. Yeah, so maybe I should just keep my mouth shut. Ended up working out.
Come on, Tom. Here, I was there, Tom. Oh! I got it.
Oh yeah, okay. Mario probably pressed 2B in that other situation. That would check out actually. Just based on how he's selecting Wagner's buttons in this game right now, it's likely that 2B was pressed. But I mean, it looked like he was standing, so I'm not sure. 2B is 9 frames, so definitely much slower than 5B. 5B would have traded, 5A would have probably won, I have to imagine. It's easy to say when it's after the fact and you're not the one in the game, so. But there, like, I definitely feel like after a certain point, Captain Sugar was definitely autopiloting post dive kick, and Mario was catching on. He was starting to grid break plenty of times, or just get the proper read on whatever Sugar would do after the dive kick, so it was good stuff. And this is obviously a really good situation for Mario's Wagner right now. I'm not sure if he needed to CS. Man, I'm not sure. But yeah, anyway. I'm saying after that shield bash, because he already had the shield buff, I believe. Nice, yeah.
They're still in it, Tom. Get some good fucking uni.
Oh man, no. Yeah, he was telling me whenever that happens, it's a misinput for crouch tech.
Good shit.
There was the dive kick hitting again. Yeah, he's doing this. He's doing the dash B frame kill mid screen, which is interesting. I'll probably have to ask him about that sometime. Nice force function. Yep. The Cap and Sugar trademark. Oh, yeah. There's again the autopilot, and Mario missed the two. He didn't catch the 2A there. And I just remembered now. There's another thing that this is another head-to-head where I felt like the opponent didn't exhibit the countermeasures against Wagner's drill follow-up. You know, of course it's tournament, right? But I feel like tournament, if anything, is like the perfect place to pull that out. It definitely puts some fear into the Wagner player.
Good shit, Tom. Oh. Oh, he's passing. Good shit, Tom.
Yeah, there's where it becomes risky to do with shield bash, because, you know, in mid screen there's enough space for them to just escape. Ah, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, he had CS and he had a chance to meaty too. He just missed the meaty. That's where sometimes frame kills come back to bite you if you mistime them or you just fumble like the setup or whatever. Nice combo. Yeah, again. Does Wagner 6B work? Maybe 6B. Maybe that's what Mario pressed the other time. Yeah, I can definitely like feel the frustration that Mario might have been like, feeling himself here, because man, those dive kicks are brutal. Yo, missed. I don't know how that one didn't work, to be honest. But there's another time where Cap'n Sugar could have DP'd or yeah, I think just DP'd. You can just DP that drill. But I mean, he won the round anyway, so I guess it didn't matter. But Mario didn't feel any like fear going for the drill pressure reset because those countermeasures weren't shown at any point. Oh, and she gets a combo. Yeah, she gets a combo, and the combo does a billion too. Look at this. 3.5. I mean, of course with Warple, right? But that is way more than most characters should be doing. And then there's the dive kick again. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's how it ended.
Mario, stick around.
5C, charge C. I mean, to be fair, it was a green shield, so that move is surprisingly like pretty tricky, especially with how Lin players usually use 5C. And she can now reverse speed it proper, so it becomes that much more scary. And then plus the damage off of it is obscene. Yeah, so that was the set 2 of the grand finals. Again, there's a lot I didn't even talk about that happened, and there's plenty more that can be investigated from the first set. I think it's worth going over. It's worth looking through it, you guys, on your own time. But for now, we'll leave it at that. I think we've watched plenty from the tournament that hopefully gives you guys an idea of how it went. I personally enjoyed myself a lot. Of course, I didn't do super well results-wise in neither UNICLR nor KOF 15, but I had a good time, and being able to be a part of recording and archiving these footage was a great pleasure as well. So yeah, guys, that's gonna do it. I think that suffices for today's stream. We hit the 2-hour 30-minute mark just nearly. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the stream this Sunday. I try to keep the streams relatively chill and authentic. I'm not trying to do any over-the-top stuff, but today was definitely a jump out of my comfort zone. I don't normally do these types of just talk about stuff streams, but hopefully that was insightful for you that were on the fence about going to DreamHack at any point. And yeah, I hope to catch you guys in a future stream. Oh yeah, appreciate it, Coke Smoke. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, guys, that's gonna do it. So hope to see you guys in another stream. Again, I think this week I should be streaming. I'm not 100% sure, but it just depends on how much time I get. I had planned on playing a little bit of. I'll pull it up right now. I was gonna play a little bit of Bleach Dark Souls, just do some training mode stuff, but we'll save that for next time to leave some suspense for you guys. Okay, so hope to catch you guys the next time we talk about stuff or play stuff. This was Crucial Drive signing out. Have a good one, guys.